This is Channels Television. Let's take you live to Akwa Ibom State for the launch of the Arise Human Capital Development and Arise Local Government HCD Implementation Roadmap.
His Excellency Chief Asama Sam, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, we acknowledge your presence. I acknowledge Honorable Justice Achibong, who is also here. We honor your esteemed presence and we thank you. As stakeholders and senators, please, I'm not going to take a lot of time moving further, but we acknowledge distinguished Senator Emmanuel Ibom, distinguished Senator Effiong Bob, distinguished Senator Aloysius Setuk. All of you are duly honored and appreciated. Thank you so much. Let me acknowledge respectfully, please, Your Excellency, the Honorable Special Advisor to the Governor and Chairman, Akwa Ibom State Human Capital Development Council, Dr. Nathaniel Adiakwan. Please can we put our hands together to celebrate him. Thank you so much. And through him, we acknowledge the focal person and all the other guests who have joined His Excellency the Governor here. Your Excellency, not forgetting, of course, the chairman of all the local government areas who are here. Of course, we know that the event of today concerns them as they would launch the roadmap for their own engagement. I acknowledge them through the chairman of Algon, Dr. Emedi Moudo. Please can we put our hands together and celebrate them. All chairmen of 51 local government areas, they are here and we honor them. The traditional institutions also represented. I acknowledge them through the President General and Okwi Bibio. Please can we put our hands together and celebrate Intendant Dr. Solomon Etuk JP. Please can we celebrate him? Can we celebrate him? Of course, the chairman of that council to Odidem Etum Edet Basi. We appreciate all of you, not leaving out our security commanders, all of them who are here. For want of time, I acknowledge all of you through the CP. We appreciate your esteemed presence and we truly appreciate you. All leaders who have come with the vice presidents in your various categories and offices, we honor and appreciate you. All commissioners, all special advisors to our governor, all leaders of our dear state, we truly honor and appreciate all of you. If we had all the time, would have made the introductions more elaborate, but we know that you understand the demands of the office of the vice president and therefore would permit that I end the introductions on the note. But let me ask that you please put your hands together, celebrate yourselves wherever you are seated. Please can you celebrate yourselves wherever you are seated. We truly honor you, we truly appreciate you, and we thank you for finding time to be here. Your Excellency, the Vice President of our great republic, leader that we are very proud of, we welcome you to Akwa Ibom State. But to very officially welcome you, let me welcome most respectfully for the welcome remarks the chairman of this council in Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Nathaniel Adiakwan. Please can we put our hands together as we welcome him for the welcome remarks.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umo Enoch, please permit me to stand on the protocol as established. It is with great pleasure and profound gratitude that I welcome you all to this significant occasion, which is the state launch of the Arise Human Development, Capital Development Strategic Plan and the Local Government Human Capital Development Implementation Roadmap. Today, we gather to actualize a renewed hope in human capital through collaborative effort of the Arise Human Capital Development initiatives that will undoubtedly reshape the landscape of human capital development in our state. We are immensely honored to have with us the Vice President, a steadfast advocate for progress and development, whose presence today reaffirms the commitment of the federal government to support our efforts here in Akwa Ibom State. I would like to acknowledge the leadership of our governor, His Excellency Pastor Moino. His unwavering dedication to service to the people of Akwa Ibom State is an inspiration to us all. And it is through his vision that we embark on this journey towards a more prosperous and equitable future for our state. The Arise Human Capital Development Strategic Plan represents our collective resolve to empower our citizens through education, skill development, and opportunities that foster innovation and creativity. This comprehensive framework is designed to address the unique needs of our communities, ensuring that every citizen has the resources and support necessary to thrive. Furthermore, the local government human capital development implementation roadmap will serve as a critical guide for our local governments, enabling them to effectively implement these strategies at the grassroots level. By strengthening our local institutions, we can ensure that the benefits of human capital development reach every individual, creating a ripple effect of positive change across our state. Let me please take a moment to express my sincere appreciation to everyone who has contributed to the development of this plan. Your hard work, dedication, and collaboration have been instrumental in bringing us to this important milestone. Let us continue to share ideas, insights, and experiences as we work together to realize the full potential of ARISE Human Capital Development Agenda. Once again, thank you for being here today. Together we can build a brighter future for Akwa Ibom State and Nigeria, one that is filled with opportunity, empowerment, and growth. Your Excellency, the Vice President, distinguished guests, welcome to you. Welcome to Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise. Emedio.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, the Vice President, the Chairman in Council in Akwa Ibom State, if you listened carefully, his last words were, welcome home, which is to say that the Vice President of our dear state, if you check properly, Your Excellency, we have realized from historical facts that your late great-grandparents were from Ikodegbene local government area. Your Excellency, that is why you're a strong man, and that is why your smile is very affable, because those are characteristics that only Ikodegbene people possess. And as I said that, I looked at distinguished Senator Emmanuel Ibom, and he seems to be checking the annals of history. Distinguished, check well, his name is there. Please, can we celebrate the Vice President as we welcome him to Akwa Ibom State, the home of great leaders. A lot of us are here and may not quite understand the scope of what we are here for. A lot of us are basically celebrating the arrival of the Vice President to Akwa Ibom State. But the next item on our program would be to put perspective to what we are gathered here for. You need to understand why you're here, so you can support this initiative with full understanding. I want to therefore invite for the overview of Nigeria's Human Capital Development 2.0, the lady who understands this properly and will be able to make all of us understand just like she does. Please, can we put our hands together, welcome the National Coordinator, Human Capital Development in Nigeria, Rokaya El Rufai, as she comes through. Okay. Please, let's celebrate her as she comes. Let's celebrate her as she comes for the overview of these projects, of this initiative that the Vice President is here to launch in Akwa Ibom State today.
Good morning, everyone. Your Excellency, His Excellency Vice President Kashim Shettima, Your Excellency, Governor of Akwa Ibom, please permit me to stand on already established protocol. I'm waiting for the presentation to be up. Okay, thank you. So, the background to the human capital development, if you go to the next slide. So the program was formed at the backdrop of Nigeria's performance. If you go to the background slide, please, page 1. Thank you. So you can see Nigeria's performance So Nigeria ranked 168 out of 174 countries. And on this basis, in 2018, an emergency National Economic Council was held with some key donors. My boss here was part of that NEC dispensation. And a commitment was made by the NEC, including all the governors then, to commit to developing a program. So I would like to take this opportunity to commend my boss for continuing with this very important initiative that has very long-term results framework. So continuity is indeed important, and I extend this commendation to you, Your Excellency, as well, Governor of Akwa Ibom, on continuing with the program. And you can see also, based on, besides the World Bank ranking, there is the UNDP ranking. And this is what even investors use when they want to come and invest, and they're looking at the talent pool available to them. And the case for human capital development and why it's very important is, first and foremost, data has shown, because the World Bank has been tracking this, data has shown that you can't really grow economically with poor HCI, which is the indicator. And data has shown that if you invest optimally in the HCI areas, you can even increase your GDP more than 2 times more.
Sound check.
And also the improved health and well-being of people, such that when they are born, they have the best of schooling, they have the best health and well-being, and thereby able to achieve their fullest potential. And of course, for poverty eradication and income inequality, because the UNDP indicator in particular, because they're more humanitarian in their perspective, also tracks GNI, which tracks income inequality. This human capital development tries to do is create equal opportunities such that every Nigerian is able to achieve their fullest potential. And the journey to 2.0, because it started with a 1.0, so the 2.0, His Excellency directed a review to enhance it. It's always good that when you have a process, you take a step back and review, engage, understand the lessons learned, and also look at the emerging trends. And that's exactly what His Excellency commissioned us to do. And on that basis, we developed the 2.0 strategy that was adopted by the steering committee. And one of the key things, and also to realign it to the renewed hope agenda of our principal president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's very important to ensure intergovernmental policy alignment as well. And one of the key improvements, if you go to the next slide, is first and foremost, the vision is more results-oriented. So we are aiming to be among the top 80 ranked countries in the world, so that whatever we're going to do, we're asking ourselves, how are those top 80 countries ranking, so that we are actually not only moving in motion, but we're moving with results. The second thing we did was take a look and break down how that HCI is measured, and the UNDP, and also ECOWAS. ECOWAS has now prioritized it as an agenda. Nigeria was the pilot. They've successfully rolled it out, and they now have a strategy for West Africa as a bloc, and are also measuring everyone's performance. So we took a look at that, and we distilled, and we adapted, we localized to our nuances. And another thing we did was we looked at the strategic themes. Formerly, it was health and nutrition, education, and then labor force participation. So what we did was bring out, you can see food and nutrition is now cross-cutting. We now tried to expand it to be more inclusive and more in alignment with sustainable development and future-proofing needs. And for example, you can see digital economy. Another thing is the cross-cutting themes to mainstream into those areas. So if we're talking health, education, labor, for example, we're discussing women, we're discussing people living with disabilities. We're trying to think, if we're discussing all that, we're trying to think green, we're trying to think of sustainability of the programs and so on. And also, even for jobs in particular, we're thinking of how do we get our Nigerians future ready. The world is moving to a digital and intelligent age. By 2050, we'll be the third largest country in the world. The working age then are being born now. The 25-year-olds of 2050 are born now. So how are we equipping them with the skills of the future to have an equal opportunity to play in a digital economy? And then other things we've done is the indicators. So even when we're setting targets, taking fertility rate, for example, the top 80 is at 2 births per person. We are on 5, an average of 5 per person, so that it's a moment of truth for us and we know how far away we are from that top 80, and we're designing policies and interventions that will get us there. And the year is by 2030. Also, the governance structures, we looked at it and we expanded it to be more inclusive. A platform has been created, for example, for private sector. Under the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, there is a platform created for HCD champions that would involve the religious leaders and traditional leaders. So what we created is self-sustaining platforms for different stakeholders in the ecosystem to self-organize, and the dialogue is happening, and coordinated and concerted efforts are being made to those areas that are important in moving Nigeria into the top 80. Then, of course, the operational structure, which I won't bore you with. So moving to the indicators now, how do we measure ourselves? So based on the national program, please can we go to the next slide? We have a long list of indicators, but for this term, we are taking it term by term to translate it into a program. The steering committee, when they last sat, that was chaired by His Excellency, the Vice President, approved these 6 indicators to be prioritized. The first is under 5 mortality rate. The second is under 5 stunting rate. The third is immunization coverage, because most of those deaths are preventable, they're vaccine preventable. And then out of school children and learning poverty. Learning poverty meaning children within the ages of 10 to 12. How many are able to correctly read a paragraph or have the basic numeracy skills? Because if you remember the education pillar, beyond education, we're looking at skills. That way you can train them and they can have decent jobs that would earn them a decent living. And of course, very important given our demography, the youth not in employment, education, or training. Youth need. Very important for Nigeria to engage our youths and ensure that even if they're not in jobs, at least they're in programs that are getting them ready for jobs. So if we move to the next slide, to just explain us as the core working group, you already met the chair for the HCD Council and the focal points. At the federal, we are the coordinating secretariat for His Excellency, the chair of steering committee and chair of NEC, and DCOS that chairs the core working group. So you can see the way we're organized. The apex body is a steering committee, there's a core working group, there's a focal persons forum, which the likes of UDWAC were kind of enabling peer learning between all the states. We've even, for example, encouraged them to form regional forums so that interstate common issues within regions can be tackled collectively. We have the private sector partners group that the NESG, Nigeria Economic Summit Group, is trying to help organize, and the National Champions Forum. And for the work streams, policy, advocacy, and comms, which is why His Excellency is here to support the Arise HCD plan and keep advocating for it to be prioritized, and adequate resources are allocated by states. We have the data and M&E. We measure, and like we said, we want to be guided by facts, the peer learning and capacity building, the technical assistance, and the program accelerator. And before I go into how Akwa Ibom is performing, we'll talk a bit around the program accelerator. So the very one we're showcasing here is called Project Fuko. And Fuko means stove in Kanuri. And we deliberately created that to honor our principal here. And what we are trying to do is cooking. 4 in 5 Africans are faced with dangerous gases to feed themselves. You all know that most people cook with firewood. Apart from the hazards of deforestation, most mothers even back their children when they're cooking. And that's why, in fact, there was a Paris conference last year, and they discovered that decarbonizing cooking is equivalent to decarbonizing aviation, and it's a small fraction. So there are many funders that are looking for investable projects. Even Africa Development Bank has prioritized it. They want to decarbonize cooking in an impact fund. And what we've done is we have 2 leaders in LPG Techno Oil. The MD is here, and Mr. Suraj from Toyola Energy that has been doing clean cooking for over 15 years. Even got an award by Prince Charles. They're leaders in that field to just showcase how we can innovatively tap into private sector and the carbon markets, which is the carbon credits are priced in dollars, so that we can look at social problems and look at innovative financing solutions that we can unlock. And we hope that there are some states will join and create in the pilot and create a model. Other programs we're thinking of, especially around the innovative financing, is scaling Adopter School. Private sector is really doing that, and is one of the things we're organizing through the NESG platform to see how we can scale that. Scaling PHC as well, they have that. The Food for Education, Kenya has a very successful model of school feeding, leveraging CSR funding of corporates, and Smart Kids is around school bags that are solar powered, also a very successful case in East Africa. And then the learning poverty. How can we leverage AI and tablets and things like that to address the learning poverty? So now I'm coming down to talk a bit about Akwa Ibom. So with Akwa Ibom, we spoke about those 6 prioritized indicators. You look at under 5 mortality, you're way above the national average, you're high performing there. On out of school children, very impressive, just at 3.5%. And you can see for learning poverty is an estimate, you're below average, but you can see the national average of 70%, meaning 7 out of every 10 of our children cannot read or write a correct paragraph or have the basic numeracy skills to set them up to achieve their full potential. And you can see youth not in employment too, you're below the average. With immunization coverage, very strong performance. You moved from 44% to 53%, so is the nutrition probably because of the inflation and living standards that will recommend you kind of take a look at. So now to close, We have, as the national team, created something to guide and serve as an overarching framework. And what we encourage and what you have done today is to adopt and adapt it to your local nuances, making it your own. Because everyone has his local peculiarities, and it's to give the assurance as a federal team, we're available to help and support and handhold you in this journey as you continue to set the pace, because you are indeed one of the leading states. And right now, uniquely stand as the only state that has even been able to cascade it to local government level. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Please, can we celebrate her one more time? Thank you so much. That was seminal. Your Excellency, if this was to be a presentation for a PhD thesis defense, I'm sure the Vice President would give her excellence because it was as detailed as it ought to be. Please, can we celebrate her one more time? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. But I've also received information from the Vice President that every other person who will be speaking is requesting that you pay attention to his call of duty, that we should keep within 2 free inelastic minutes so that he can finish with these and proceed to other matters so that Nigeria can keep moving forward. Thank you so much. So we're now moving over to Goodwill messages. By our program, we'll take just 3 out of all that were listed. Your Excellency, I'd like to take the liberty to mention all those that will be speaking here for Goodwill messages, and after which all of them would come up one after the other. Would first take the CEO of HD Plus, and after that we would take Techno Oil, who will be speaking through our GMD CEO, and of course finally would take the CEO of Toyola Energy. These 3 would be speaking 2 free inelastic minutes, considering the schedule of our special guest of honor. Let me first welcome the CEO HD Plus, Her Excellency Madam Finda. Please, can we put our hands together as she makes her way forward? Please, immediately after her, we'll take the GMD of Techno Oil. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa State, Your Excellency, the Vice President of Abia State, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on established protocol in the interest of time. Good morning. I'm humbled and pleased to attend this impressive gathering today as Chief Executive Officer of Africa Human Capital Development Plus. I know the challenges of driving change in such a critical area of development, so I'd like to commend the leadership of Akwa State for prioritizing human capital development at the heart of its governance agenda. The ARISE vision, which seeks to make Akwa the preferred destination for investments in Nigeria, and the mission to provide sound policies and professional leadership to improve citizen well-being, speak to a deliberate and strategic commitment to people-centered development. This resonates strongly with the core values of HCD+, where we work to support inclusive data investments in HCD in the following sectors: health and health security, nutrition and food security, education, skills development and labor participation, entrepreneurship, financial inclusion and digital transformation, and of course, gender transformative HCD. In Nigeria, we currently support Lagos, Kaduna, and Nasarawa states through targeted capacity building and small grants for state-led initiatives for communities in local government areas. This support strengthens HCD advocacy, promotes the use of robust data systems, and helps develop gender transformative frameworks that translate policy into real outcomes for the people of Nigeria. Our engagements aim to enable all stakeholders at national and subnational levels to lead with evidence, inclusivity, and impact. We're particularly encouraged by the Arise Local Government HCD Implementation Roadmap, which demonstrates a clear pathway to embedding human capital interventions at the grassroots level. Its focus on early childhood development, adolescent health, youth skilling, and women's empowerment reflects a whole-of-life cycle approach to human development. This effort offers a compelling example of how local ambition can align with national and continental HCD goals. Your Excellencies, looking ahead, we at HCD Plus are eager to explore a strategic partnership with Akwa Ibom State to further increase investments in human capital and accelerate the implementation of ongoing interventions. Together, we can strengthen data systems to enable real-time reporting, inform adaptive policymaking, and better tell the story of progress and promise. We believe that when we invest in people, we invest in the future, and it is only through coordinated, intentional action that this future of more productive citizens of Akwa Ibom can be fully realized. We invite the private sector in Akwa Ibom to join this pivotal public-private partnership that can change the narrative around human capital development in the state. Let me conclude by expressing my joy in noting that the funds we made available to Nigeria, about $500,000, through the core working group on human capital development during my tenure as the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission 2018 to 2022, has resulted in such a remarkable outcome. Well done, Akwa Ibom. Thank you once again, and I look forward to fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, may I now invite the GMD CEO of Techno Oil for her message of goodwill, Mrs. Nkechi Obi.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, the Vice President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me stand on the existing protocol. Let me thank His Excellency, the Vice President, and his formidable team for this laudable initiative that is geared towards improving the overall well-being of Akwa Ibom in particular, and Nigerians in general. Indeed, there cannot be any meaningful progress or development in any society without a deliberate, actionable roadmap to address the critical challenge militating against human capital development. For us in Techno Oil, we have been invited here today through the Office of the Vice President on human development. We believe that the importance of human capital development within his economic buoyancy, developing the country like ours can never be emphasized. And access is affordable, reliable, sustainable energy as calculated in the SDG 7 fundamental and foundational to the realization of this goal. Part of why we're here today, yes, we have to, basically Rukiat has been able to mention a lot on cooking, clean cooking. And Techno Oil, yes, we are a company that is in downstream sector, oil and gas sector. And as a woman, I'm the CEO, the founder of Techno Oil. Having seen women that the level of adoption of LPG in Nigeria is quite low, even compared to other West African countries. And so I decided that women was, the way our women was cooking is basically unhealthy, and we needed to save our women. So what I did was to adopt part of our CSR to be on LPG. And today, we have been, and that's why if you see part of our investment, infrastructural investment, you will see that we have a cylinder plant which was commissioned in 2019 by the Vice President. We are producing almost 5 million cylinders in the country. And we don't need to import. We are able to meet the demand of the local market, even though as of today, a lot of imports substandard cylinders. Because of safety in this place here, we are not able to have these cylinders here. We are going to partner with Akwa Ibom. We have some cylinders that we intend to distribute to some women, and these are cylinders we have distributed in the past. And we work based on what the Akwa Ibom state government is doing on the Hope Arise. We'll partner with them and be able to ensure that we educate them, do quite a lot of outreach in a way to enable the clean cooking initiative be able to be achieved. And I believe that it should be part of your goals and objective towards the human capital development of the state. So finally, like this program is entitled Arise Human Capital, I'm convinced that if we work collaboratively to address the challenges surrounding inefficient and harmful cooking practices through focusing on investment, our women and youth will arise, Akwa Ibom State will arise, and Nigeria will surely arise as much as towards the growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, the last message of goodwill will be from the CEO of Toyola Energy. Let me emphasize that the CEO should restrain himself to goodwill message, seeing that you already heard, Fuku was already sufficiently introduced. Please, can we put our hands together for him as he comes for the last message of goodwill at this event. Please keep celebrating him, Mr. Suraj Choi, CEO of Toyola Energy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and Your Excellency, the Governor of Abia State. I have to confess, I was a little bit afraid when I was told I would be given an opportunity to speak today. I was really afraid I might start crying publicly again. Because anytime I speak about my work, I must speak about my mother. And anytime I speak about my mother, I can't help crying. So if I cry, kindly excuse me. I'm not speaking as just the chairman of Toyola Energy Group, the company that operates in 7 African countries and with offices in Europe and the Middle East. I'm speaking as that boy, that small boy in his mother's kitchen over 50 years ago, who, like most Nigerian women today, watched his mother cook with firewood in a very smoky kitchen. What my mother didn't know, and what I didn't know that time, was that by the simple act of cooking for his family, my mother is literally smoking over 20 cigarettes a day from the indoor air pollution caused by cooking. We didn't know that this thing is killing us gradually. As a youngster, I suffered from very serious lung disease from this thing. And I promised myself that many years ago that when I grow up, I'm going to do something about it. That is how I come to become a cook soap producer. What I didn't know that time was that this is going to become big. I actually become an accidental celebrity because that cook stove I invented in Ghana 25 years ago was later found that will not just solve the problem of women cooking. This cook stove is smokeless, it uses firewood and charcoal, and it burns very cleanly, therefore eliminating this killer in our kitchen, which is smoke, which, according to the World Health Organization, is killing 100,000 Nigerians every day, mostly women and children. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are here now, one mother is dying, some children are dying, and the reason I can't help crying was that my mother, who made sure I didn't become one of these statistics, is no longer here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are doing today is something that will save our women, our children, and our future generations. Because these children that are with their mother in the kitchen are actually dying and we don't know. The Holy Book says, what you don't know will kill you. We didn't know that simple act of cooking with firewood, which 70% of Nigeria are doing, are actually killing us. So this is my life's work. The most important thing I want to talk here is this stove is made 100% in Africa. I started in Ghana, we are now in Nigeria, and this can be used 100% local raw materials. This is a stove made by Nigerians for Nigerians and to be used by Nigeria. Incidentally, we later found out, I didn't know then, that this stove actually reduced greenhouse gas emission, which is causing most of the problem we have in the world today. Greenhouse gas emission caused all the problem we used to have, this extreme weather, floods, and other things. So, I was told what I was doing can reduce greenhouse gas emission. And this greenhouse gas emission reduction will be purchased by international companies, Shell, Chevron, Lufthansa, and the rest of them, even by government. So, what I started as that boy in the smoky kitchen later took me places I never knew I would get. The last time I spoke like this in public, several times I've had to cry. I cried when I was invited by the present King of the United Kingdom, Prince Charles III, to come and speak about my work. I didn't know the village boy from the mother's kitchen will go today. I also cried when I was invited by the President of the United States, Clinton. I also cried when I was invited to the United Nations to come and address people about what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is that we can actually do something in Nigeria. We become world beaters. We can actually become champions. Today, Toyola Energy operates in 7 African countries. It has generated over 6 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions, and my customers include Goldman Sachs, the Swedish government, Lufthansa, and the rest of them. I'm not doing this to boast. I'm trying to tell us that we can start something in Nigeria and be acknowledged worldwide for it. The vision I see for Akwa Ibom State, as well as the rest of Nigeria, is we will set up production center for this clean cook stove all across the state and including the local government. We train our youth and women to produce it. We train them to distribute it. We solve our own problem of indoor air pollution and send away the killer in our kitchen. 1. Number 2, we sell the greenhouse gas emission generated by this offset to $100 internationally to expand the project and other things. I see this happening in Akwa Ibom State. I see it happening all over Nigeria. And I know the Vice President, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and Governor Abia State, and our other leaders here will help us to achieve this vision. Thank you very much.
Please, can we celebrate him some more? Celebrate him some more. Thank you so much, the CEO Toyola Energy. That's the right kind of motivation that comes with some practical explanation of how he went from his village to the global stage. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, we're going to now take the presentation of the Arise Human Capital Development Strategic Plan. After we've taken that, Your Excellencies, we would have an intervention and later Vice President C1 cultural performance. That cultural performance is supposed to cue in the address of the host governor, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, which of course will be followed by the address of our very special guest today, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So to present the Arise Human Capital Development Strategic Plan and Local Government HCD Implementation Roadmap will be the state focal person, Mr. Udwak Isaac. I've had a meeting with him and his presentation should not exceed 4 minutes. although it was supposed to be about 15 minutes. Can we celebrate innovation as he makes his address within 4 minutes? Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Your Excellency, members of the National Assembly, our members of the State Executive Council, distinguished guests, I am very delighted to be here today. Your Excellency, the Vice President, I am very humble, and please permit me to take you down memory lane when I first met you in 2018, when the HCD 1.0 was launched in the State House. I was privileged to be among the few you exchanged pleasantries with, and I could remember your words of encouragement, asking me about Akwa Ibom State and motivating me to see what we can do in our state to even improve our human capital index. Most importantly, Your Excellency, you promised me that sometimes one day you will visit Akwa Ibom State. And today, Your Excellency, you are here as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and still on the subject which brought me opportunity to meet you for the first time, human capital development. Your Excellency, I'm very honored and mostly humble. To our father, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, I thank him very sincerely because he is the one who has made it possible for us to be here today. But Your Excellency, permit me to also remind us that you have a lot to share in common with Akwa Ibom State. You share the same nickname with our governor, the Golden Boy, when you were serving in the banks, and our governor also has a nickname called the Golden Boy. Let me pause there and run into the business of the day. Your Excellency, the Arise Human Capital Development has remained a model for other states. Your Excellency, I thank the National Coordinator for giving us the opportunity even to share the Human Capital Development Arise agenda of His Excellency the Governor beyond the borders of Akwa Ibom State. This document was presented at the ECOWAS Peer Review Learning Workshop, which we were able to share our own experience. As we speak today, Your Excellency, the Francophone members of the ECOWAS have translated this Arise Human Capital Development agenda into French language. So we are very grateful for what His Excellency the Governor has helped us to achieve. This is a 138-page document, and you have everything embedded as far as the Arise agenda is concerned. We have the vision, we have the team, and we have the mission, which is all encapsulated in the Arise agenda of His Excellency. Chapter 1 has the Akwa Ibom State profile, and then you will have a little history of what Akwa Ibom State is all about. Chapter 2 highlights what His Excellency, our Governor, has performed in the area of health. The Arise primary health care model, one of the best primary health care institutions we have in the country, which has also served as a model for other states, Your Excellency. These are a good number of our Your Excellency's investment in this sector. Please, can we run to the next slide? We have the second thematic areas, education and skill, where we have, I'm sure His Excellency, the Vice President, would like to visit one of our Arise primary schools, which is where His Excellency is able to provide uniform, books, including shoes to our children. This is the only governor who has been able to give robe allowance to the teachers. Our teachers are in high spirits, and we are achieving results. For instance, the last bilateral competition debate in Singapore between Nigeria, our children, most of them from public primary school, did us proud, and they came top. Not to talk of STEM competition and many others. He pays WAEC fee for every individual in Akwa Ibom, irrespective of where you come from. Please let me get going because of time. Yes, we have the labor force participation. You can see what His Excellency has done there. We have the Arise portal, where our children can lock in and get employed by even outside the state. Please, let's go. These are cross-cutting issues. Your Excellency, as you were coming from the airport, you can attest to the fact that we have all solar-powered street lights in Akwa Ibom State, and that's courtesy what His Excellency has done in this area, and he has done many other things in this area. Then, in terms of gender parity, we can see all that His Excellency has done, build the Arise Compassionate Home for our poor and vulnerable women, among other things. Let's get going. The digital economy and financial inclusion. You have seen how far His Excellency has gone in terms of helping our women to get financially inclusive. Of course, this is a government of inclusivity. Food and nutrition, recently he has launched a food, agri and food committee, and has put agriculture as #1 as far as the Arise agenda is concerned, with so many agricultural initiatives that are mentioned in this document. Your Excellency, to have the strategy where we can implement this, there is an implementation strategy, tactics and plan that Chapter 9 of this document has been able to highlight. Then the risk, one of the greatest risks that impede development is insecurity. He has established a ministry responsible for that and established Arise Watch and an organization that is responsible for protections of life and properties across our states. The data and meal framework, His Excellency is not a governor that stays in office. You can see, look at how far he could go to ensure that things are done. This is what has made everybody to arise, because we must work hard and not doing it as usual. Your Excellency, in my conclusion, it is interesting to also have the local government, the Arise local government strategic plan. What is even more important about this is that, like the national coordinator mentioned, we are the only state in the Federation that has been able to institutionalize this program at the local government. And beyond that, we have even taken it to the community level, where we have the Arise Human Capital Tax Team in each of the wards of the states. It is my humble appeal, Your Excellency, that I will appeal to our sponsors, our partners, to assist us in training those people at the grassroots level who will be able to drive this human capital development program. For the want of time, Your Excellency, I'm most grateful, I'm most humble to have you in our midst. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, and welcome.
Let's keep celebrating him. Thank you so much. Thank you. Your Excellency, as special guests, it's obvious that if we had the time, Mr. Udwak Isaac would have taken you through the about 23 months of leadership of His Excellency Pastor Moina. But he doesn't have time today. We know that when you come back in May to celebrate the 2nd anniversary with His Excellency Pastor Moina, we'll give you a full day to tour the entire state. It is during that tour that we'll give you the certificate of origin from Ikoregbene local government area. I'm not giving up, Your Excellency. Thank you so much. But now, just for us to prepare to receive the address by His Excellency, our Governor, that will pave the way for the address from our special guest of honor, the Vice President, we're going to take a cultural performance from very young legs, young minds in Akwa Ibom State. They go by the name Uforo Ndito Akwa Ibom. It is my hope that as they perform, all of us who are here would rise up from our exalted seats and begin to dance away with them. This is not only a cultural performance, it's also going to serve as some health awareness. As you dance, you get healed, by the way. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together as we welcome to the stage for a 3-minute cultural performance, emphasis on 3 minutes, Uforo Ndito Akwa Ibom. Please, can we celebrate them? Can we celebrate them as they come, very young, but very creative, very young, but very talented. These are the leaders of tomorrow, the type that the Vice President is working very hard for. And this one even looks like the Vice President. Please, can we celebrate the young dancer in front? Can we celebrate him? Uforo Ndito Akwa Ibom, this is your moment. Please take it. Can we put our hands together, celebrate the young Vice President to be? Can we celebrate him? Can we celebrate him some more? Thank you so much, Uforo Ndito Akwa Ibom. We wish we had all the time to entertain the Vice President some more, but we understand the demands of his office, and we trust that we are doing all our best to ensure that we don't make him spend so much time here so he can finish what has brought him here and then, of course, proceed to continue to work in the best interest of our country. Your Excellency, the Vice President and special guest of honor here, Your Excellency, the Governor of our dear state, we are almost there at the moment where we would listen to the address from the host governor, the Governor of our dear state, and of course, that already mentioned immediately after the address from the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, the host governor, we would also be hearing from a special guest of honor, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But right now, it is time to hear from the Governor of the Arise years, the Governor of the Golden Years in Akwa Ibom State, one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Transformative leader in every sense of the word. Compassion should be his middle name. Can we put our hands together right now and welcome for his address, His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Omoina, as he proceeds for his address at this event. Keep celebrating him. Keep celebrating him.
Thank you so much. Please, let's take our seats. Thank you so much. Our special guest of honor, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the representative of the Senate, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Deputy Chief of Staff to the Senate, to the President, and the Chairman of the National Core Working Group of HCD in Nigeria, the Coordinator of the Office of the First Lady of Akwa Ibom State and your spouse, members of the National Assembly that are here, both serving and non-serving, members of the diplomatic corps that has joined us here, the national coordinator of HCD in Nigeria, the representative of the Speaker of Akwa Ibom State, and other honorable members of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly that are here, the representative of the Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State and other judges that are here with us, the chairman of our great party, the People's Democratic Party in Akwa Ibom State, the chairman of our great party, the APC in Akwa Ibom State, the chairman of IPAC and other members of IPAC in the state, the representative of the Nigeria Governors Forum, and other sponsors that are here, particularly the CEO of Toyola Energy. I'd like to recognize you for the great work you're doing. And when you say you cry, I cry too. I cry because of grace. I cry when you recognize where God has taken you from the backside of life to the front stage of life. You cry. You cry not because you're weak. You cry in submission to the grace of God and what that little thing you started has made you to be today. So when you say you cry, except you didn't cry today, I understand why you cry, and I share in your sentiment of humility. The Secretary to Government of Akwa Ibom State, the head of the Civil Service, the Executive Assistant to the Governor, and the Chief Delivery Advisor, Honorable Commissioners, Delivery Advisors, Honorary Special Advisors, especially the Chairman of Council of HCD in Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Nat Adiakpan. Celebrate our patriarch, the Okwu Ibomi Bibio, and the Chairman of the Supreme Council of traditional rulers in Akwa Ibom State. We celebrate the chairman of Akwa Ibom State traditional rulers and other royal fathers that are here, service commanders, both serving and retired, that are here, that have helped us in maintaining peace in our state, captains of industries, and other critical stakeholders of the Akwa Ibom State projects that are here today. Chairman of our local government areas, led by the chairman of Algon, and other members of the HCD committees in Akwa Ibom State. Distinguished delegates, invited guests, members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me, on behalf of the government and people of Akwa Ibom State, welcome most heartily the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, to our state for the launch of this critical program. We are thrilled that our state was selected as the first for the launch of this program. This has further reinforced the fact that the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, does not play politics with development, and this we deeply, deeply appreciate. Let me salute the great work His Excellency the Vice President has done in putting together the building blocks of this critical initiative and leading frontally towards its implementation and delivery. Permit me also to salute the tireless work the National Coordinator, Ajia Rukaya El Rufai, and her team have done in interpreting the vision and creating the necessary awareness leading to the formal launch of this program in Akwa Ibom State today. Let me, in very glowing terms, thank the Chairman of Council for the Human Capital Development Initiative, or particularly thank the State Coordinator and the focal person, Mr. Uduak, for a great job working quietly and effortlessly in the assignment and the task that he has received, and taking the state even up to the ECOWAS committee. This is one of the indices of human capital development. You may have a great vision, you may have a great idea, but where you don't have men who are able to run with this idea and run with the idea quietly, making imprints on the sands of time. And so today I celebrate the focal person who has done such a great job. And please, Your Excellency, permit me to announce the immediate promotion of this focal person, Mr. Uduak Isaac, from level 16 to level 17, and appoint him as a permanent secretary in the office of the governor to drive this agenda, because it needs the impetus, it needs the platform, and so as a permanent secretary, he will now be empowered to drive this agenda, and he will reside in the office of the governor. Where we see excellence, let's celebrate excellence. Where we see human capacity, let's encourage human capacity. And so, Mr. Uduak, you are now a permanent secretary in the Akwa Ibom State Civil Service. Let me at this point specifically thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for making human capital development a major focal area in his renewed hope agenda, of which Akwa Ibom State today is a beneficiary. This program became imperative due to the paucity of trained manpower to address the challenges the world and our nation had faced in the aftermath of COVID-19. It therefore became necessary and proper to strengthen individual and institutional capacities to rise in real time to confront future pandemics. The Human Capital Development Plan, apart from the above key areas, is also designed to expansively provide key human-centric projects, such as healthcare services, which we are currently executing through our investment in the construction and equipping of primary health centers across the 31 local government areas of the state. The provision of quality education at both the primary and secondary levels with the construction and equipping of model primary schools with necessary tools that they require, including technology. And of course, our planned construction of model secondary schools in the 3 senatorial districts of our state. The empowerment of our people and equipping them with requisite skills and knowledge that they need to succeed in a rapidly changing world. This we have done with the establishment of Ibom Leadership and Entrepreneurial Development Center, Ibom-led, which today has trained over 4,000 of people with startup grants ranging from 500,000 to 750,000 naira. The Dakada Skills Acquisition Center, the SAC, which was started by my predecessor, where we recently graduated over 400 trainees in various areas of marketable and entrepreneurial skill sets. The 400 graduates who were trained in such areas as ICT, mechanized agriculture, carpentry, fashion design, tourism. They will be further exposed to additional training by Ibom-led in entrepreneurial and other critical skill sets before we will empower them to set out. While doing that, we are planning to start the training of another 400 from all the local government areas across party lines. We have empowered our people with business equipment, traders, and agricultural grants worth over 4 billion naira through our ongoing town square empowerment meetings in our 10 federal constituencies, as well as the promotion of small, medium enterprises. We brought the Bank of Industries for the first time into Akwa Ibom State, and we have provided a counterpart fund of 2 billion naira so as to give to all our SMEs a single-digit rate, no more than 9%, to borrow. We have built over 200 homes in our Rise Compassionate Home scheme for the most vulnerable, and are on track to building 400 of such homes before the end of our first term. Since we came in, Your Excellency, we have undertaken several training sessions for our people in critical sectors such as aviation and healthcare delivery. Currently, 16 of our youths are in Toulouse, France, for training as pilots with Airbus. 21 engineers recently came back from training with Ethiopian Airlines and will soon be absorbed by Ibom Air. Last year, we sent 3 of our youths for training as pilots with the Nigerian Aviation Training School in Zaria with full scholarship. This is preparing them for the aviation industry, where we want to have our own, fly our own airline. This is the way to go. Currently, we're recruiting about 100 medical doctors that will be sent abroad for training in various fields, so they may form the nucleus of our planned medical tourism in our state. They will be provided befitting living quarters, decent salaries, and emolument once they come back, since they are bonded with the state government. We want to stop the Japa syndrome in this state. Our teachers are also being trained to bring them up to speed with modern teaching techniques. Your Excellency, technology is the way to go if our country must key into the future that the National Coordinator Rukaya talked about. We have created a separate Ministry of Digital Economy that will help our people digitalize our operations from primary school, secondary school, and all across the various sectors in this state. We have been intentional in ensuring gender representation. As my Deputy Governor, distinguished Senator Akwa, who is unavoidably absent today, is attending to another state matters. The Chief Judge, His Lordship Justice Ekate Obot, numerous commissioners, chairmen and vice chairmen, permanent secretaries, and board members are female in this state. So Akwa Ibom State can be said to be a gender-friendly state. As we unveil this program, we acknowledge that human capital development is the bedrock of sustainable development, and will continue to invest and collaborate with the national coordinator of in this critical sector. I told her yesterday that we will domesticate the law establishing the national content development as a law in our state. We'll send an executive bill to the House of Assembly so as to domesticate this law. Your Excellency, we are working with you in all fronts to ensure that what you have started will cascade down and to our local government. Finally, as the editorial board of the New Telegraph newspaper stated, when they presented me with the award as the Human Capital Development Governor of the Year 2024, last week, during our expanded ESCO retreat in Lagos, that through a bold and impactful effort, Akwa Ibom State has recorded incredible success in human capital development. I want to assure us that we'll continue to prioritize the development of our people and work with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, because development and human capital investment should not be colored by political affiliations or coloration. The future belongs to those who seize the moment and make necessary and proper preparations today for the opportunities and possibilities that tomorrow may bring. This launch today further validates their independent assessment of what we have been doing in the area of human capital development, which the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce last week also reaffirmed our effort when they presented us with an award in this critical sector. Your Excellency, we will continue, like I've said, to collaborate with the federal government in all of the areas that you are developing our country. Akwa Ibom State will not be left behind. We're already working and will continue to partner with you in ensuring that we take development from the federal to our state and to our local government, the nooks and crannies of our state. We most heartily welcome you, and we thank you for choosing Akwa Ibom as a place to launch this program. Thank you for allowing us to work with you across party lines in ensuring that we lead in human capital development in our country. Thank you, and you're most heartily welcome, Mr. Vice President. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Just before I have the singular honor and privilege to welcome the Vice President for his address, I'd like to please notify our special guest of honor, as per the program, that immediately after we have listened to his address, we would have his esteemed personality, unveil, that is launch the Arise Human Capital Development Strategic Plan and the Local Government Human Capital Development Implementation Roadmap, which would basically happen by the unveiling of what we have in front of us here. And of course, also launching of the 31 local government HCD plan is just also by the unveiling here. The two documents are well presented in this package. Your Excellency, the Vice President, after that, if your time permits, you could just present the clean cooking stove to 2 or 3 beneficiaries out of the lots that will benefit from Akwa Ibom State. All these clean cooking stoves is already here and they are displayed outside. I'm sure that when you'll be doing the presentation, it may be displayed on the board for those who would need to see. But we took the liberty to bring in just 3, so that if your time permits, you can present to just 3 beneficiaries. And immediately after that, we'll invite back His Excellency the Governor and some of our esteemed guests to join you for the unveiling, so that when you have unveiled, we can take the national anthem and close part 1 of this event. And then we'll lead you to maybe Korekbene local government area, where, please, can we please put our hands together, welcome His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, for his address at this event.
Kindly take your seat, please. Akwa Ibom Esenwo. Akwa Ibom Esenwo. Emesereo. Barrister Morgan is accompanying me to Ekot Ekpeni. I'm a city boy, so I will adopt Uyo as my hometown. You know, I'm from Maiduguri, the state capital in Borno. So naturally, I should adopt Uyo as my home. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, my brother, my friend, Pastor Dr. Umo Eno, Mrs. Helen Eno Obareki, Coordinator, Office of the First Lady, Akwa Ibom State, and her spouse, the President of the Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Goodwill Obod Akpabio, GCON, ably represented by Dr. Sabio Enkere, Chairman, National Assembly Commission, Member representing Ukanapon, Orukaman Federal Constituency, and Chairman, House Committee on Communications, Right Honorable Uyeme Idems, Member representing Abak Federal Constituency, Right Honorable Clement Jimbo, the Deputy Chief of Staff to Mr. President, and Chairman, National Co-working Group, Human Capital Development, Senator Ibrahim Hassan Hadija, the Special Advisor to the President on National Economic Council and Climate Change, and National Coordinator, HCD, Rukayat El-Rufai, the Special Advisor to the President on General Duties and former Minister of the FCT, Dr. Aliu Modibo Umar, and other senior presidential aides present here. Honorable Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Udeme Otto, ably represented by the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Kupre Abati Edidem. The Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State, Right Honorable Justice Ikaite Eb Obot, ably represented by Honorable Justice Achibong Achibong. I would like to weaponize the Secretary to the Akwa Ibom State Government, Prince Enobong Owa, to recognize and appreciate members of the Akwa Ibom State Executive Council and members of the Akwa Ibom Security Council. The Special Advisor to the Governor
and Chairman Akwa Ibom State Human Capital Development Council, Dr. Nathaniel Adiakpan, the Akwa Ibom State Focal Person and Chairman South Focal Persons Forum, Human Capital Development in Nigeria, newly minted Permanent Secretary, Mr. Uduak Aili. He shed tears of joy, and may God make it possible for the governor to shed tears of joy in plentiful in the next coming month, years, and decades. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your leadership, and most importantly, for your empathy and commitment to the common good. On top of all, your respect for humanity. The President General Akwa Ibom State Supreme Council of Chiefs and the Oku Ibom Ibibio, His Eminence, Dr. Denyen Solomon Etuk, Chairman Traditional Rulers Council Akwa Ibom State, His Royal Majesty Odidi Mbasi Edet Jepi, our development partners, Madam Pinda Koroma, Mrs. Nkechi Obi, and Mr. Suraj Wahab, senior government officials present here, honored guests, members of the Fourth Estate of the Rim, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Every policy or program that intervenes in the life of our people can only succeed if it's rooted in the grassroots. This gathering testifies to that. And I share in the joy of the good people of Akwa Ibom State for the promise of this day. This is a declaration that the true wealth of any nation lies in the certainty of its human capital, the education of its children, the health of its citizens, and the productivity of its workforce. The National Human Capital Development Program, which has entered the second phase, is a solution we have re-engineered to meet the moment. At its core, HCD 2.0 is about integration and impact. It is built on the foundation of HCD 1.0, but goes further to incorporate cross-cutting themes. And what has brought us together in Uyo? The launch of the Arise Human Capital Development Strategy by His Excellency Governor Umo Eno is a template for each set of the Federation. It's a strategy that acknowledges that we can't build an enduring castle without a solid foundation. What Akwa Ibom has shown us here isn't just progress, it's called leadership. It has become the first state in the nation to localize the HCD vision in its truest form. While other states have a strategy tailored towards the state, Akwa Ibom has taken a step forward by adopting the strategies at all local government areas. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our choice of priority indicators to track is guided by a studied understanding of the direction of the world and how it is headed. If we have come to the conclusion that we must expand our national human capital, then we must pay attention to immunization, stunting, learning outcomes, youth unemployment, maternal mortality, and the data to understand them. These indicators are not arbitrary. They represent the front line of Nigeria's human capital crisis. They are the pulse points of our national well-being. And as I've often said, we cannot stop what we do not measure. This is why we have launched the HCD dashboard to monitor these indicators at both state and local levels with precision. We are deploying data not for reports, but for results. Because behind every number is a story. A child not vaccinated, a mother lost to childbirth, a youth with promise but no pathway. These are not mere statistics, they are realities. And we must confront them with urgency and compassion. That is why I commend Akwa Ibom, not only for your outstanding performance, but for daring to dream bigger. With an under-5 mortality rate of 80, compared to the national average of 110, and with only 3.5% of primary-age children out of school, far below the national average of 25.6%. Your state is not merely compliant with our national vision, you are ahead of the curve. And I assure you, the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, stands ready to partner hand in hand with you. What binds us together supersedes whatever that divides us. The period of politicking is over. Now we are in the phase of development. And Governor Pastor Governor Umo Eno is carving a niche for himself and for the people of Akwa Ibom. Leadership is an onerous burden. His ability to carry all tendencies, his ability, his focus, his laser focus on adding value to his state. He's not a loud governor. He doesn't grandstand. He's not a controversial person. And for that, Your Excellency, we are mightily proud of you. And you are one person that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu holds in the highest esteem. We have set aside a lineup of accelerator projects, one of which will be unveiled here today. In our collective effort to improve health and environmental outcomes, we are also proud to extend the Clean Cook Stove initiative, now nationally recognized as Project Puku, to Akwa Ibom. This intervention, first piloted in Nasarawa State with the distribution of over 1,000 stoves to vulnerable households, is more than a public health measure. It is a gender-sensitive, climate-conscious strategy that saves lives, preserves forests, and uplifts rural women burdened by indoor pollution and fuel scarcity. We have all heard the story of Suraj Ahmed, where he was lamenting about what his mother went through and how she died. Our inspiration remains the shadows of low learning outcomes, high maternal mortality, and youth unemployment. If we must meet our target of reaching a human capital index score of 0.6 and becoming a top 80 nation globally by 2030, we must act with boldness. Implementation must be swift. Data must guide us. Financing must be innovative. And our vision must be protected from political transitions. That is why we are working to institutionalize the HCD fund, to ensure that no matter who occupies these offices tomorrow, the investments we make in people today will endure. I urge every governor, finally, I urge every governor to learn from the example set by His Excellency, Pastor Umo Eno. There is no legacy that surpasses that of building our people. There is no monument that will outlive the legacies of health, education, and opportunity. Education is the greatest leveler. Within a generation, the son of a pauper, the son of a poor farmer, can be a celebrated icon. Your Excellency, thank you so much for investing in education in Akwa Ibom. I'm not playing politics. I'm speaking from the heart. And the truth that sets men free, according to H.S. Aga, is most often the truth that men prepare not to hear. Some people may not be happy by what I am saying, but I am speaking the truth. This is a governor in whom the president has a lot of confidence in. Let me therefore commend Governor Umo Eno and his team for not only adopting the HCD framework, but for localizing its ambitions and for placing people at the center of public policy. This is leadership. This is what it means to govern with vision, with foresight, and with commitment. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much. We'll now have the Vice President, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, to please accept to come over to join the Vice President, the Coordinator of the First Lady, the Deputy Chief of Staff, Coordinator, Representative of the Senate President, the House of Representative Members, Special Advisor, Special Duties, to please come to Dr. Nathaniel Akwa. Please also come, Deputy Speaker, to join the Chairman of both the PDP and APC. Please, let's join the Vice President for the unveiling. Please, please, please. Please, while that is being arranged, let me welcome Edoma, Isaiah, Mbotidem, Apan, and Peace Basi to please also come forward. They will be the recipients of the clean cooking stove.
This way.
Please stand close to your partner. Congratulations.
That just signifies the official launch of the Arise Human Capital Development Strategic Plan. And of course, the Vice President is very dutiful in ensuring that every strategic leader standing here receives a copy of this strategic plan and implementation outline. Of course, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State and all other strategic leaders receiving their copies. The intendment being that as they receive and read, they would proceed to ensure that these are implemented. Please, can we put our hands together as we celebrate the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and, of course, all our leaders, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, just after these, the Vice President will please accept, as already mentioned, to just make symbolic presentations to 3 beneficiaries out of the very many of the clean cooking stove. So that would mean that all the other leaders to the left hand of the governor would please accept to move away or turn to the other side so that we can do this immediately. Please, can we come with the clean cooking stove and the beneficiaries too? Edoma, Isaiah, receiving symbolic presentation, one of many. Congratulations. Mbotidem Apan to also receive. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When you have a handshake with the Vice President, the future is obviously bright. Can we congratulate Mbotidem Apan too? And then finally we have Peace Basi also receiving. And this one is presented by the Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Can we celebrate all of them? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your Excellencies, the Vice President and the Governor, we have come to the end of this part of this event.